Hi everybody, it's Cass again, and I'm here bringing you an impromptu video because I received a support request today from somebody who was asking why their images look blurry. So if you're wondering how to make your images not look blurry, especially final renders in NightCafe, then watch to the end of this video because I have a lot of tips and also distinctions that I think people who use NightCafe don't realize. So let's just get right into it. Right now I have my screen open to NightCafe. So I'm gonna make sure to hit create and I'm just gonna give myself a random prompt. I'm just gonna hit the shuffle button. This actually, when you don't know what to write, you can always rely on this what should I create prompt suggestions. This is actually kind of new from NightCafe. I say kind of new, it's been around for a few months, but we're still perfecting and adding touches in to make sure that the prompt suggestions are the best that they can possibly be for you. So yes, I went with the first one, ancient tree and a raven. So let's see what that creates. I'm using Seed Dream 4.0 as my model. This is probably a bad example because Seed Dream creates really high res images. So let's go to Flux actually and make sure we do short, aspect ratio square, and nice. I have a freebie. So this creation is actually going to be free. That's Seed Dream. But if you see, Seed Dream's final render is actually very high quality and the details are all there, which is awesome. And I think with Seed Dream, you actually don't have to do as many renders and retries. But with Flux, sometimes, like if you see here, the raven is a little bit blurry. Just a few, like, I don't know exactly why it looks like it's off. I wish I could pinpoint exactly why. It's just a little bit, yeah, just blurry. Still a great image nonetheless. I love it. Especially the mist. That's very cool. So the way that we're going to fix this is a lot of people want to hit creative upscale. For those of you that don't know, we have two different types of upscales on NightCafe. There is clarity upscale, and then there is just a regular upscale. So upscale, clarity upscale. But yeah, upscale just increases the resolution, but creative upscale is just a way to add more detail to images that need it. So if you're using an older model like SDXL or Flux, for example, you can use this creative upscale. Let's just try it out actually. Here we go, clarity upscale. That's the only option we have at the moment. You can adjust the creativity level. I personally like to keep it at 20% or less because the higher it is, the more that the AI tends to hallucinate and just add in random things. That's good. And then you can just keep the original prompt. I don't know if I went over this. I think I glossed over the upscale size. Upscale size should be probably 2.0 or 1.5. I think that the higher you go, the more it kind of smooths an image out and makes it look kind of like waxy or like, I don't know, it just looks less natural. It looks a little bit too polished. So yeah, try to keep it at 2.0. And while that upscales, we can just try out a few more, like just for fun. Wow, here's this render. That's cool. That's without any adjustments. But I do see that this snake kind of looks a little funky. I mean, I can tell after looking again that it's two separate snakes, but you can't notice that right away. So what I'm gonna do is prompt to edit. I think this is the easiest way to remove something from your image. There's a bunch of different models. There's free options if you're not on a pro plan, but of course there's plenty of pro options, which the reason that they're pro is because these take up more computational power than the free ones. So I'm going to use the Gemini Flash 2.5, aka Nano Banana. We call it by its government name right here. It's fine. We know what we're using. And the editing instructions are so simple. So you literally just talk to it like you're talking to a person. Here, I'm going to say, remove the second snake. Edit free, because I have a freebie for it. So this one's also going to be free. And if you guys want to know more about freebies, let me know in the comments because I'd be more than willing to do a video about freebies. So while that's going, let's take a look at the Flux Creative Upscale. This is how it looked before. And here's how everything looks after. So you can see clarity upscale really brings out the brightness in colors, and also if there's like too much saturation of one color, it'll kind of dim that down. So I don't know if you saw before, it was really glowing green. The green glow has kind of gone down and it looks a little bit more natural, like a bluish misty glow versus just like the really ominous green glow. that looks awesome. I mean, look at the rocks. The water looks more realistic. That's amazing. But if you just want to do a plain upscale, I always suggest staying at the lowest 2 times upscale. It's the cheapest as well. So I think it's great. It's a great way to just bring your photos up to like finished quality. So let's compare this. That was very quick. This is the original, and here's the upscaled version. So even if you look at like the water and the rocks, just the upscaled version looks so much clearer, and the mist even looks a lot softer and more natural versus before it was kind of harsh and yeah, just like kind of thick. So yeah, that's how I get my images to be clear and not too grainy or, you know, have any extra things that shouldn't be there, which is I think mostly grain. Let's just try this one for example. This is a nano banana creation. I'm just going to upscale it because this NightCafe image resolution is usually, I say usually because not always, 1080 by 1080 square. You can change that in the settings when you're creating. So let's just upscale this. And as you saw before, it takes like 10 seconds, maybe. That was definitely less than 10 seconds. So here is this raccoon upscaled. Let's look at the before and after. Here's before. And then here's after. And you see for certain styles, I feel like an upscale is not necessary. Like for this specific style, it looked a lot more cartoonish. So I think I'm just going to make this one viewable because I still think that the grainy-ish look for this kind of suits the style. And that's another thing, just like my last point, I guess I want to touch on. Upscaling is never necessary, especially if you go for more of an Illustrator handmade type style, then you're not really going to want to upscale your images. For example, I do a lot of like film. I have this infamous, my favorite prompt. So I have it saved in my favorites. Okay. And then let's just create it in Flux to see what this one looks like. So whenever I do this, the reason I'm showing you this is because this prompt is very film, like there's a lot of film modifiers in it. Fuji film extra 400, portrait 800, lots of like film stocks and just film. Like if you see, I said film still. So with that, if you upscale, you will remove the film grain look. And it's kind of hard to avoid that. So it's just you win some, you lose some. But I think this is great. I think like it comes out looking awesome. So this is what the Flux output looks like without any upscale. And then when you upscale it, it just kind of makes it looks beautiful still. I think it looks super DSLR looking, hyper realistic. It's just, like I said, if you're making something that is more, I don't know, suited for the grain, then you should keep the grain. It's never necessary to upscale at all. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I was using NightCafe the whole time. If you want to sign up for NightCafe, the link is down below. It's a great community. There are so many models to use. And if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments. And besides that, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.